Cranswick was formed in the early 1970s by over 20 original farmers. Many of those farmers are still involved in the business today. We have a focus on efficiency and an obsession with quality. In the last 3 years alone, we have invested over £130 million in the operations. Tesco's is our largest customer. We have dedicated farms, we have dedicated facilities, whether that be at the primary end or the value-added end. We intend to continue to invest in these facilities to help us grow a more sustainable business together.
Cranswick has grown through its approach to make great tasting food. We never set out to be the biggest, we actually set out to be the best and really make the best food we can. The size of the company has actually come as a byproduct of our belief in upscaling artisan. All these techniques have all been learned through our collaborations with what are now called our food heroes. They're regularly in the factories, they're regularly tasting our product, and they are really passionate about the products they've brought to market through Cranswick.
I'm the 8th generation of my family to be involved in the pig meat business. And I guess the pinnacle for me was the fact that we held a royal warrant for supplying the Cumberland sausages, dry-cured bacon, dry-cured ham to Her Majesty the Queen.
To get the best possible pork, everything has to be right at the farm, growing the pigs. It's all about fat content for us because fat equals flavour. We won't slaughter the pigs until we've got the right size and the right amount of fat. It's all about the butchery process that we have here at Cranswick being the best that you can get. A consistent product gives you consistent cooking instructions, which gives you a consistent end product.
On ham, very similar to bacon, it's very much about the hand curing.
The flavour of our ham is pretty much as good as it gets, really. We invest so much time in the process. And then, of course, we've been making sausages for the best part of 200 years. The pork has to be right, 20% fat, 80% lean, good quality ingredients, natural casings.
To us, it's looking at the supply chain in its entirety, literally from farm to fork.
Wayland Farms is a dedicated outdoor reared unit producing pigs for the Tesco finest. Our strategy within Wayland is to take our current 6,000 pigs a week up to 8,000. We run our own breeding units, we run our nursery units, and then the final finishing stage on straw in barns is contracted out to a number of local farmers in Norfolk and Suffolk. Wayland Farms has worked really closely with the Norfolk Rivers Trust to ensure that the soil health and the water is preserved and conserved. We've also done groundbreaking work in terms of carbon footprinting our outdoor farming business, demonstrating that our carbon footprint is very low when benchmarked against the rest of the industry. One of the unique attributes that Wayland Farms has is a closed breeding system. And what that's led us to be able to do is actually reduce our antibiotic usage to a point now where we are 50% of the rumour target that's set. We also have a state-of-the-art indoor system called Barzi. We have around 1,500 sows, primarily dedicated to the breeding cycle. We are gaining huge amounts of data, and we can share it with other producers so that we can help them to bring their cost of production down. Cranswick relatively recently bought another abattoir in Northern Ireland at Ballymena that will be looking to produce around 15,000 pigs a week. Now it's actually about teeing up long-term relationships with local producers. And we have a partnership arrangement with one of those to deliver the first zero carbon production facility in the UK.
So the factory was bought by Cranswick in 2009. We have invested £39 million into the factory. We've increased the processing capacity from 12,000 pigs a week to 22,000 pigs a week. In 2009 we had a retail capacity of 200 tonnes a week of fresh pork. We now have fresh pork, barbecue and sausage retail capacity, 900 tonnes a week, all for Tesco's. Quality is the best it's ever been. Efficiency and cost to the customer is being driven down every year by the investment we're making. And our service is second to none. We're looking at future potential of new products, mince, finest sausage being 2 of those. We have plans to do so, but that's just an extension of what we already do. We have the meat on site and we have the experience to do so. And we do what we say we're going to do on time.
At Cranswick Gourmet Bacon, we're linked into the best supply chain in the industry. That allows us to produce the best quality bacon that you can actually buy. Our method is very traditional, it's over 200 years old. The recipes, it takes the moisture out of the product, so when you cook our bacon, you don't have any water or any white bits. Colin Woodall is our food hero, and we're very fortunate that he comes and joins us every week to make sure that he's as proud of it as we are. The beauty of our site is that we don't just do bacon. We have the scope to do anything that involves an artisan, hand-cured, air-dried product. That can then be used in a variety of different ways in different products.
We're a Tesco dedicated site, so we're taking raw meat across all the protein sectors, turning that into cooked meats. We've invested upwards of £20 million in the last 5 years. What that's done is increased our capacity and it's also increased our efficiency. We've moved to a water-based cooking system, so you've got no variation in temperature at any point within the oven. We're starting to really understand where our waste hotspots are, whether that be effluent waste, whether that be meat waste, whether that be carbon emissions. So we've recently put in a combined heating and power plant, and we're generating our own electricity here on site. I think we're perfectly set up and perfectly positioned as a business to take care of and manage the entire finest category. All we would need at Milton Keynes is a little bit more space to give them the time and care and attention that finest requires.
We've got the best facilities in the industry. We're well invested. We invest well ahead of the curve. People know us for our investment, but they also know that the people around that business know the business. People that you speak to today are the same as the one you spoke to last year and the year before and 5 years before that. It's sustainable in the people and it's sustainable in the business model. It may have a PLC above the door, but it's people under it that make all the difference. And we want to build upon a successful partnership with Tesco.